afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, the hero of your dreams. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma in the west. It is FK9DD fighting for the Soviet Union, Government Stalin, the Soviet peoples. Taking on the role here of the Second Guards Mechanized Corps vs. Lease. It is Use-M246 fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division with Mechanized Assault with Double Infantry Panzerfaust versus Partisans Airborne, and then Lease Tactics with Double Infantry Guards Balloons there for FK9DD. Double Conscript Start there versus Assault Grenadier MG42 from Use-M246. Mechanized Assault has definitely been seeing a lot more play as of late, probably due to some of the shifts in the meta. There's been a bit of a surge there in Assault Grenadiers and whatnot, and we got one squad there equipped with the MP40s. Pioneers grab the cuff point, they're heading southwards, MG42 following up, and as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press the bell button. And if you're feeling even more generous, you can donate or pledge on Patreon, which would help me to keep doing these videos day after day, so do consider chucking in a bit if you can. If not, it's alright. Third conscript on the way, the FK9DD. Sandbags here up, very consistent sandbagging by Use-M246. Thumbs up there, two in fact. Third conscript there, almost done. No conscripts laying down sandbags here. Second assault going to squad out there for Use-M246. And Das Vaterland. The 78th Sturm Grenadier Division was a sort of more experimental assault infantry division where the grenadiers were roughly equipped on the same level as Panzer Grenadiers. That is, each infantry squad had access to 2 light machine guns rather than just 1 light machine gun. Additionally, they had some larger heavy weapons platoons with heavy mortars and PaK-40s on a lower level rather than just sort of in larger detachments. Then finally they had a full Stug brigade attached to the division as well, with Stug 3Gs and Stug 42s, plus a complementary set of escort infantry for the assault guns, so the division didn't have to dispatch anyone to deal with that. Some fun facts there. Conscript moving about here, we got first engagement MG42 versus conscripts, though more of an less of an engagement, sort of more like, slight snafu there. Soldiers then hot pursuit the conscripts, need to be careful. I mean, one good sprint could leave the conscripts a bit sour, but there you go, more threats here. Used there in as an attempt to be aggressive, has left his cuff on there open, and FK9DD seizes upon this very rapidly. And no tech of yet there. He's planning a third assault grenadier squad. That would be, well, aggressive. Going up out there. So we can see they use sort of trying to do to FK9DD what FK9DD is doing to Use. So both players there again going in aggressively. Pioneers were in there. Conscript routing. MG4 setting up here. Will he be able to fire enough in time? No. Close one there, but still he ends up retreating, deciding it's not worth it. Probably not a bad call. There we go. Assault sprinting up forward here, going for the conscripts. Taking him on loss, and there go retreating as well, since up close the assault grenadiers will, in 99 out of 100 cases, easily beat the conscripts. And that one other case, it's just because the player using the assault grenadiers did something frightfully wrong. Soldiers Pioneers moving ahead here, grabbing back the cop on this time, using the MG42. So we are just seeing tech up. That's going to be first Panzer Grenadiers. Certainly seems to be sort of more of a build that's happening now. 2 assault grenadiers, 1 MG42, then into fast Panzer Grenadiers. Sort of a much more, again, aggressive infantry build there. But certainly also in some ways synergizes better with the MG42, which requires you to play more aggressively anyways. It's just not a very good defensive weapon. So in that sense, assault grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers in a way do make more sense. We got, whoa, 5 conscripts there for FK9DD. That is, as some of you might be able to tell, a lot of conscripts. Usually most builds will start at 4, but 5, I mean, can happen. I'm guessing that means airborne troop tactics, since they shouldn't benefit from all of that. Otherwise, I mean, I guess Lend-Lease would give them a lot of ways of repairing it. All the way, Panzer squad halfway down for Use-M246 and the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division. Constant moving about, MG4 sitting up there to cover the cuff one as well. They again disruptive play from both sides. Neither side just sitting back and having a bit of schnapps and sauerkraut. Coming up there, flank the MG42. Assault was trying their best here, but they're simply outgunned, they're outnumbered. The MG4 continue to fight here. It might be in this case trying to look to suppress the conscript to give the MG4 assault a bit better chance to retreat, and maybe itself as well there, but it has to retreat soon. Either way, they're not necessarily a bad idea, in case it ends up retreating there. You could say it wired off there, but FK9D had not. Still, probably not a bad idea, just to make sure maybe in case it had, maybe had a slightly safer retreat there. Medic bunker up there, needs to get that to make a nice company going soon as well, or at least some more Panzer Grenadiers. When these situations do go for this build, I mean, 2 assault grenadiers, 2 Panzer Grenadier squads is sort of shall I say, normal build from what I've seen so far. I mean, I've not been seeing it a lot, but I've been seeing it sufficient to say there's a pattern. Of course, you may use mechanized assault groups to get that second Panzer Grenadier squad out, which of course also just give more mobile assault elements here. FK9DD, they're going in hard, straight into the heartlands here of Use-M246. Bold aggressive play, but again taking advantage of Use-M246 aggressively overextending here, and again had it worked out a bit better, great, but as you know, it sort of collapsed and he didn't do insufficient damage. The FK9DD was able to quickly take advantage of the power vacuum to just swoop in there. So right now Use-M246 is having a bit of a rough start here versus FK9DD. Both players playing aggressively, but certainly for the Wehrmacht to play aggressively, they do need to be a bit more careful, and certainly requires some very deft machine gun handling, and hoping they don't just get swarmed like that happened there. But there you go, Panzer there doing heavy damage to the gears, almost landing a wipe there. One man does escape though, the flamethrower would have been great there for use if we could get rid of that, but it didn't quite pan out. So something about if we got conscious of focusing them down, not good there. Panzer with Johnny in, there we go. Use-M246 is on the warpath here, striking back hard at his opponent. It does seem like he is setting up for the Mechanized assault group here. The way he's splitting manpower and fuel at the same time rather than build the like to Mechanized company, it would definitely indicate he wants to go for that Mechanized assault group and try and throw off FK9DD in the early game. There you go, Conscript under heavy fire there from the MP40s and the Sturmgewehr FK946, or MP44 if you prefer. He can call in the Mechanized assault group now, but he isn't doing it, so maybe he wasn't intending. Oh, there you go. Mechanized assault group up there, giving him the second Panzer Grenadier squad, and of course giving access to the 250 half track, which can be used to support his troops quite effectively, in particular once he gains a bit of veteran, so you can also use to reinforce the troops nearby, which is quite handy. Seizing the southern point here, troops reinforcing. Obviously the 78th Sturm Gun Division would not access to armoured half tracks in any way, but could have received them from other divisions nearby to support. For example, it was not uncommon for mechanized or reconnaissance groups, for example, to find themselves that way attached to other divisions. In particular, I guess the Panzer Grenadiers, since the mechanized troops in the 250 half tracks were usually sort of just considered extra Panzer Grenadiers rather than reconnaissance troops, which is essentially what they were anyways. Like, the actual reconnaissance were usually handled by armoured cars, with the Panzer Grenadiers or Aufklärers in such a unit. They would have basically just been used to support them, you know, open gaps for the armoured cars to break through, and otherwise just served as an extra infantry battalion. In particular, an extra mechanized infantry battalion, which of course was really valuable. So, a few fun facts there on organisation and the likes. Mines down there from FK9DD. After hanging back here for now. Back here healing enforcement. Use-M246 sort of bouncing back here. There's FK9DD, who certainly needs to be a bit careful about. He has also got the anti-tank grenades ready, and I imagine Use-M246 is ready for that now. The question is, what is FK9DD's further plan here? I mean, there is no sign of the additional doctrine here. And at this point, I don't think Parton's going to happen, which means our airborne troops and Lease, in both cases, he probably want it as soon as possible, to be honest. I mean, here it could be heavy machine guns, which would be great with the half-track and the infantry. In theory, in the M5 half-track assault group with the guard troops now by the way have access to Thompsons instead of the PPH-40 here, as the, or 41 as the text says. Plus, the M4C Sherman is also quite handy. So we'll see what ends up here between Use-M246 and FK9DD. After they're running back, got one kill there for the half-track itself, and 2 kills for the Panzer Grenadiers. Hard to say here what Use-M246 is planning, but again, he is playing aggressively. He's never sort of just playing defensively. He's always looking for a way to sort of pressure his opponent, which is obviously what FK9DD is doing as well. And again, he's using the machine gun to actively support this, though. I think in this case, he extended too far. Should have had some extra troops nearby, maybe the half-track. Ooh, nice read there. Solid's running to the church, quickly grenades it, but he can probably dodge it. Still takes a bit of light damage there. And of course can use the half-track to block the other way. Panzer's moving in here from the north, pushing back the contras there. But at the same time, machine gun getting flanked here. Nice push there by FK9DD. Bit of an obvious flank to happen, to be honest, though. But still good reaction there by FK9DD. Half-track moving up. You know, it's in a worst case scenario, you can just pop it into defensive mode to use to suppress troops. Hits the mine though. Ludwig and Heinz also get blown out. They should have worn their seatbelts if half-tracks ever had those. Got the car on their head again though. I mean, these players are just relentlessly hammering away at each other. Half-track, not likely to survive, in which case you need to pop up the Panzer because they have a better chance there. Sadly, it's not veteran to one, in which case we just pop the Panzer going to reinforce them and use them to sort of screen the retreat more easily, but just to even that sort of a screening there, operation is going to be very limited and sort of ensuring the survival here, but we'll see. And looks like, I mean, pretty much all of his forces on retreat there, so he can't really move anything to sort of assist here to sort of keep it safe, but in this case, though, he gets lucky. FK9DD does not aggressively pursue here. Also worth noting, he has not tagged up either. No tank commands or anything like that. No engineers. Might be he's planning a fast mechanized armor companier, which does beg the question if he's then actually is planning here for the Lend-Lease, since, you know, fast M4C Sherman can give your average German player a bit of a, you know, hard time. Plus, but we got to take up there, and of course it also opens up for veteran school leaders for the assault groups, or mechanized assault groups. I mean, it does seem like he's going for that. In which case, of course, and that, of course, could also maybe synergize with this. I mean, in which case he's going to have 5 7-man conscript squads, which certainly may give Use-M246 similarly a bit of a hard time. There you go, going for another MG42. Good read there. I mean, he's probably realized by now, my opponent has an awful lot of infantry. I'm going to need an awful lot more bullets to stop them. I need an MG42. MG42s, when you're expecting lots of guests, and they speak Russian. 250 after they've been repaired. Tech, they're done as well. The soldiers are doing what they can, but they're being overwhelmed by the sheer number there that FK9DD is bringing to the table. Seizing the Northern Victory Point. We've got 290 versus 500. FK9DD here, by the way, again, expertly using this conscript to just ensure he has the advantage that way as well. Exerting aggressive map control, and there we go. Mechanized armor company. So, likely we will be seeing a lot of conscripts there. Support there for Use-M246. Very good, even though, like, he can't get anything out of it right away. It's better just have it ready, so when you do have it, you don't have to waste time building it. It's ready then and there, and you can immediately just press the button to get whatever out he needs. Also got Panzerjägers here. He's probably doing it in case of the T-70. He's not entirely sure if his opponent is going to, you know, rush for medium armor or T-70, in which case having the Panzerjäger ready there at least sort of ensures him versus a fast T-70 to some degree. Good play there by Use-M246. There goes the Palmer up. And again, depending on the situation, you can now, of course, also just go for Stutt, but it becomes necessary. Like, say, if FK9DD pushes out the fast Sherman, which certainly would not be entirely impossible. But there you go. Mobilized reserves, they're going on for the conscript squads there. One squad already being upgraded, and very likely all of them will be. But what he's planning is getting hard to say. But at this point, I'm really expecting Lend-Lease, since the other two would really want you to choose them soon. And honestly, even Lend-Lease would to a degree, but it's less demanding in that sense. Like, it's more lax, lenient, more forgiving. Comes to the almost being wiped out. Back here, troops in reinforcing. And there we go. We do get Lend-Lease. And you can, of course, if you want to, deploy allied supply drops to increase the fuel income. That way, you know, again, speed up. But he's likely saving up some of the munitions, of course, for mobilized reserves. Of course, he needs also remember to reinforce the squad so they can actually take advantage of the 7th member. There you go. Pushing northwards there with the conscripts. Seizing the southern point here with the assault grenadiers. Back here, troops reinforcing. Mine goes off, leaving the pioneers rather blown to bits. And we do, I think, see a minesweeper there. Close vectors one there in the 250 and a half tech. We'd like to shoot some panzer back in. There we go. Damaged engine there, thanks to the conscripts appearing heroically with a grenade to damage it. Minesweeper's ready. Well, he can go for the Stutt now if the situation requires it, but at the current point, Panzer IV seems the likely more safer bet. So at this point, I imagine he's probably getting the idea that FK9DD is going to go for medium armor. He just doesn't know what kind of medium armor. Loads of manpower being floated by FK9DD. A fuel cache here would be an excellent addition. And of course, we use M246. Upgrading his assault grenadiers with veteran squad leaders would also be a very nice and handy addition there. Not necessarily a hard requirement, but it would be nice. 250 half the other veterans 1, giving the ability to reinforce the front line. Very handy. We do get the Dischgewehr machine gun up, realizing he may need something to keep the German infantry a bit more honest, or at least a bit more dead. MG42 being held southwards. Using the point here by the munitions. MG42 covering the northern road. Back here, healing enforcement. Nothing further going on there for FK9DD. They got more reserves being mobilized. Though again, fuel cache here would be an excellent addition. There you go. Use-M246 pushing out with the Panzer IV. FK9DD will be getting the M4C Sherman out a bit soon after, in which case it would likely beat the Panzer IV. Unless Use-M246 gets lucky or someone manages to bait it close into the Panzerjäger alongside the Panzer, in which case he does stand a better chance of dealing with the Sherman. And there you go. M4C Sherman, also known as the Emcha by the Soviets. Panzer in there, kicking in the door to the church, and getting the comms there. No, lots of sandbags here by forming up a harder point to attack from Use-M246 to head on. Very nice addition there. Disco forming up sort of a bit more of an in-depth defensive for the centre, making it harder for Use-M246 just to break through without artillery, or at least a very thorough assault plan, which honestly most players never use. Panzer they're being hosed down here, taking heavy damage from the conscripts, but also the machine gun there. And of course the conscripts with mobilized reserves, of course performing much better in the heavy cover. M4C Sherman almost done, Panzer IV rolling out there for Use-M246 and the 78th Sturm Grenadier Division. Skirmishing there, Panzer IV blasting through the hedges, and there we go, Sherman out here for FK9DD. Can of course add the 50 caliber machine gun for added firepower versus the fascists. There we go, good hit. 2/3 of the unit gone in the blink of an eye. The last remaining two very quickly moving in another direction very fast to avoid joining the other four. Looks like no machine gun there for the Sherman, at least not for now. There we go. Upgrade to 7 men. Sherman blitzing right past, mines down. Field gun flying up here to support versus German armour, and there you go, directed here, sniping out one of the machine gunners. Use-M246 needs to retreat fast. I mean, if he had a 50 caliber, he probably could do more damage faster, maybe had a chance of wiping out the machine gun crew. Small one, but I think it had been like a reasonable chance of actually pulling it off. Heading for the southern victory point, got 267 versus 475, but of course, with the M-chart, I mean, Use-M246 certainly will have a bit more trickier time dealing with it, since again, the M-chart just has overall reasonably better stats than the Panzer IV. Panzer they were wiping out engineers, good push there by Use-M246, a bit bold knowing the Sherman is in the neighbourhood, but clearly Use-M246 knows what it's all about. Hopefully also he knows the other thing is about, which is not getting your own men murdered pointlessly. It's a quick retreat in the face of the M-char there from FK9DD. Like to make a nice company here, that's going to be the Pack 40 there, most likely from Use. To help deal with the Bolshevik tanks, and there you go. Assault Committee's got the veteran squad ready as well, increasing their firepower, durability, and ability to just seize points. All very nice there. Conscript squad laying down sandbags, and watching it all just crumble right before their eyes alongside several squad members as the Panzer IV shows no mercy. Something's probably getting ready here. Back here, troops reinforcing for Use-M246. Pack 40 almost down there as well. The Panzer Abwehr Kholodny Ferma. Sherman with 4 kills, so they need to attack the pinline machine gun. Really would benefit from it. Assault was there, not in an enviable position. There's then a fire from both the Sherman and the Dishka, and there we go. Cover shattered, plus a few assault grenadiers. Got the Pack 40 ready here. Up north, push for there is very nicely done there by Panther. It is backed up by the MD-42, form up a nice little assault force. That's going to be very difficult for most infantry to defend without serious defenses to back them up. So good push there by Use-M246, tactically very solid. Tactically very solid. MD-42 in the southern point a bit on his own, a bit more risky, in particular with the Sherman out. Troops being suppressed, but there goes Sherman to the rescue. That's going to be retreating up north. Mines being hit still. Use-M246 is extending its influence rapidly in the north, though the MD-42 is likely going to get wiped, or maybe not. Again, the lack of machine gun though is making it a bit harder to judge there, but certainly again it would help a bunch. Panzer IV there sniped poor Dimitri by just shooting him in the stomach. Nothing further going on here, no tier 4, nothing further. I might of course try and stall for the target tank now, or might just go for Stoogs, we'll have to see. FK9DD, the most of the squad's upgrade to 7-man, could benefit from a bit of fuel to assist when getting out more Shermans, since if you can hit a critical mass of M4C Shermans, it could give Use-M246 a very difficult time of things. And we get another dish out there. 242 versus 473, very good. Seizing the center with the conscripts. Adding the 50 caliber finally there to the Sherman. In the south comes there was the Panzer IV, 13 kills. Tier 4, so Likely going to be trying to stall here for the Tiger tank, though again, versus M40 Shermans and a possible critical mass of them, it's a bit more risky there from the use of M246 trying to be setting up for the Tiger tank now. That does help FK9DD, didn't go for a fuel cache sooner, since that would have made it even more dangerous, since again, that ensured more continuous fuel flow there for FK9DD and just faster and more Shermans. Which obviously would be really bad news for Use-M246 and the 78th Stroke Gunner to be shown. Fieldgun shoots narrowly, misses the half-track there. Kicks up some dirt, but no real harm done. Fieldgun bombarding instead. Hoping that somehow does the trick, but it doesn't. And there you go, FK9DD with the second MCHA. Gauging up north, hit counter-attacking there, go machine gun wiped out there. Use-M246's aggressive machine gun play in this case though backfired, and now the assault grenadiers could feel the wrath of the MCHA until he called in here to the in the centre, I think, to break up FK9DD's hard point around the centre. Good there. Machine gun pushed out, centre victory point could be a bit open. Second Sherman halfway down there for FK9DD, and the second guard's mechanized core. Panzer grenadiers cut down there, bits of slither by Use-M246 in the end. In terms of getting to the Tiger, he is roughly 4 minutes away, 3 to 4 minutes away. Field gun setting up, Sherman's moving in, Disco setting up there as well. Pioneer sneaking in there for the house, very good. Bit risky, but could work out quite magnificently. Assault guns flanking up behind. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do, except just deal with any infantry surrounding the Sherman. I hope they're not being paid attention to. Bomb grenade almost taking out the conscripts there, but not quite fast enough. Assault guns moving up. Panther on the centre, taking fire here from the anti-tank guns. A lot of action around the centre, and the Pioneers are finally routed by the arrival of the second MT there from FK9DD and the second Guards Mechanized Corps. Assault guns there narrowly avoid getting blasted there by the Sherman. We got 12 kills on that one, close to Veterans 1, and the radio net bonus, as long as it works together with the other MT Sherman. Another option here for the light supply drops, which again would provide him with a lot of fuel, or at least some fuel, to assist in getting out more tanks. And we got smokes and shit from the Shermans. Wonderful, beautiful. 2 thumbs up. Soldiers there getting slaughtered by the Sherman. Panzergrenadiers moving up there themselves, taking casualties there from the Shermans as well. Suppressed there by the Disco, very good. Nice defensive network of machine guns there from FK9DD, making it harder there for Use-M246 just to push forward with his infantry. May require some artillery down the road. A mortar could be a good addition here, though that would require building the infantry company, and I'm guessing he doesn't want to go for that anytime soon. Again, post-Tiger tank, it could be an option. MD-42 selected in the northern victory point. South one, though, is wide open, so that would be there for Use-M246 to hit for. Close to full wipe there, very close, but not quite. Half-tech fixed up as well there for Use. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Healing reinforcement. We are roughly a bit over a minute away now from the Tiger tank. Close one there with the field gun. Still no fuel cache there from FK9DD. Fixing up the Panther 4, halfway to 52 on that one. Using the half-track a bit more cautiously now. Using it more like a sort of support element rather than using an assault bus, if you will. But there he goes into the Disco again. He's just digging in there. He's taking advantage of the defensive bonus he's getting there. So just dig in versus opponent. Does it pot? No, it doesn't. So the father calling in here to disrupt this position. Almost got the Disco there. Could we finish it off there? Doesn't, but still does cause some disruption there, forcing FK9DD to spread out his forces in the centre rather than have them knocked out by artillery. Panzergrenadiers coming up there through the church to bombard the Sherman. Panther taking hits from the field gun. Incendiary pistol rounds being unleashed as well. They just hose and the infantry trying to continue to defend the centre here. Field gun being moved up. Sherman going to flank here. But we got the Panzergrenadiers on the flank. The cover though swiftly vanishes as the Sherman just unleashes health. Second Sherman though is not joining in this effort. Almost gets the Panzergrenadiers, but as long as they're not wiped or threatened, he can just reinforce and just get back in the fighting pretty soon there. That's the half-track is serving a nice purpose there for Use-M246. And there we go at the 24, almost 25 minute mark. Use-M246 is calling in the mighty Tiger tank, the Tiger. Minor blow that's used Use-M246. He tries to recruit the machine gun. It gets wiped. Assault is charging forwards now. He needs a little smoke if possible. Pioneer's close being wiped out as well. Target advances, and there you go. Constable's in a lot of trouble. Pioneer takes out the Sherman, taking another armed casualty. Going for the field gun there with the assault units and a Tiger tank. A heavy assault here by Use-M246, at least a sort of fanatical one. Almost got the ace field gun crew. Panthers there being, assault guns being suppressed here by machine guns, and doesn't matter. The field gun is cut to ribbon. Sherman's then getting the Tiger tank head on. Mine goes off, damaging the engine of one of the Sherman tanks there. 9 kills on the Tiger tank here for Use-M246. Brutal bloodletting over the center of the map here between FK9DD and Use-M246. Machine gun crew there getting pummeled by the Tiger tank. 11 kills. Infantry moving force right in front of the Tiger tank's line of fire. A bold maneuver there by FK9DD, or just reckless, possibly careless. Recruiting the field and it's attempting to right in front of the Tiger tank and the machine guns. Ends up not particularly well here for FK9DD's men. Are easy targets, and of course half again just allows them to grab and recruit stuff and reinforce the front line. Pantherfall gaining Veteran 2, becoming effectively a pocket Tiger tank there, at least in terms of armor roughly. Counter that damage and engine of the Tiger tank. 16 kills, close to Veteran to 1 already. Oh, 18 kills. That Tiger tank is a real beast here. 19. Another shot away there for FK9DD. Very good. 21 kills. Almost Veterans 1 and the Tiger tank already. That has been an absolute explosive entrance onto the battlefield there for Use-M246 Tiger tank. The right now, I feel like he's pushing his luck too far. He's been pulling it a bit further behind to repair it, which looks to be what he's doing now then. And again, he can easily crew stuff for the Pioneers and then pull them back to the half-track repairs. I mean, again, having a half-track just to reinforce your troops with at the front end is actually really good. Even if it's just the 250 half-track after you got a bit of veterans on it, that's still really good. Third Sherman almost done, which of course gives FK9DD quite the armoured platoon there. .28 kills, Veteran T2, 21. Pioneers hard work there, very good. I mean, a good flank assault here, but really crucial, at least laying down some smoke to minimise incoming fire there from Use-M246 in charges forwards. Though so far, none of the two are happening, which I feel like is a bit of an oversight of FK9DD. I mean, his counters there feel like are taking needless damage when again the smoke's going to allow him to get much more easily close. Conquering northwards here, the assault continues at the same time the machine attacking southwards here. Tiger tank there taking heavy damage. Sherman there getting blasted. Constant continues to attack through the furious fire that Use-M246 unleashed and pulling back the Shermans there. Both managed to survive. Oh, never mind, spoke too soon. One Sherman does go down. Pantherfall pulling ahead here. 34 kills. Good God. Didn't lose any counter score, but did lose a Sherman. South has been secured, though we got an immediate counterattack here from Use-M246, which will quickly contest that. Putting it there with the Pantherfall. Shot bounces or misses. Also got the Panzerjägers there. Well, Pantherfall is with an extra Panzerschreck since they dropped the other one and haven't replaced it. Ooh, getting sniped there by the Sherman. Need to be careful. Down to just 2 men with very low health. Could see what that would certainly be hurtful there against Use-M246. 36 kills. That Panzer 37, 38. That Pantherfall is an absolute rampage. 39. My God in Himmel. That is an absolute beast of a Panzer IV. We got 91 versus 130 though. I mean, Use-M246 desperately needs something about the victory point situation. I mean, one option would be to quickly repair the half-check, stuff some assault troops, and then rush the northern victory point and sort of clear that out quickly. That could work out there for Use-M246. Though obviously would be a bit risky with the half-check, and again would cost them a frontline reinforcement point, which Use-M246 understandably may not be too keen on risking at this point of the fighting, since again it's really been helping in a bunch of situations. They can just reinforce to the front line. Again, that is a huge tactical advantage, which again is why at some point again they just, you know, took away the whole easiness of the forward retreat pods and actually added a penalty to them, so otherwise, you know, didn't become too much of a no-brainer. Sherman sitting out there for FK9DD, 19 kills of FT2, not too shabby either. More sandbags off FK9DD. 78th Shrum going to be shown though, getting ready for the next push. Counter there taking fire, but this time around they just retreat fast rather than suffering any casualties. But even then it's not enough. 3 men down to the Tiger tank. 27 kills in service of Dust Vaterland. Tiger tank unleashes another withering shot, this time they're missing, but certainly serving as an invigorating experience for the infantry. Katyusha's on the way there. I kind of would have figured they should fire, but with all the support weapons the way that Use-M246 is playing, Katyusha could be a good way of breaking up his defensive centre. Katyusha halfway done. Tiger tank going to hit their shattering buildings, making it harder there for FK9DD to use anything against him. South is reasonably lightly defended, but does have forces that can easily respond in case of a larger incursion of FK9DD. Panzer going to dispatch to Panzerjägers with the addition of a second Panzer Rig again. I'm surprised he's not trying to fix up the 250 half tear though. I think at least try and keep that one in a better state. There we go, Katyusha rocket launch out for FK9DD. Mine's going down the south to help defend against any sort of sudden onslaughts there. This side though is surprisingly undefended. Couldn't leave an opening there for FK9DD to surprise Use-M246 with if he senses upon this and seizes upon it. But the question is if he actually does that. So far his tactics have slightly lost some of the greater scope they had to sort of assaulting more just again head-on assaults against FK9DD, but again lacking smoke screens most of the time by now, which is also fault. There you go, Katyusha pass going in. Bombarding the position, we've got both shown by finding the HVAC rounds here, increasing the penetration against the Tiger tank. They do shoot slower, but again, they're more likely to get penetrated in the Tiger tank, and there you go, combined with anything else, the Tiger tank does explode. The half tank is also caught in it. Huge casualties here as Use-M246 defensive center of gravity is shattered. But the machine gun is still firing, is still blazing away, refusing to let the Soviets through, and the Panther IV blitzes in there as well, halfway to the ace level, 39 kills. He does manage to show up things for a bit, but even then losing the Tiger like that was quite expensive. Though, I suppose on the bright side for him, he's been floating resources, so he can actually call in a replacement Tiger, though they mean if he had some Stooks or something else, he probably could have worked it out as well. Machine gun bunker going up in the south, very good. Assault gun is hard to work there. Panther IV charging from the north and routing all the consuls there. Shoots and misses. So he's got the fuel but needs the manpower, which means he's roughly 2-3 minutes away there from the Tiger tank. Possibly longer if he keeps suffering manpower loss and has to reinforce the score to keep reinforcing them. But we'll see there. Console being used to repair the Shermans pretty fast. Very good. Adding the pinlock machine to the second one. Very good. HVAC rounds, and then with the Shermans right together again, they get that extra rate of bonus anyway, so they can quickly do some heavy damage to most German heavy armed fighting vehicles. Bit more fresh push into the south there. Immediately halted by the machine gun, of course the presence of the Sherman there, halfway to the ace level on that one. Sherman's bombarding here. Uses infantry. Pani is almost wiped out. Already in the face of FK9DD's assault. Katyusha rocket launcher all ready to bombard here, though we'll see where it shoots. Panzerjägers off in capture from the Sherman. Radio net boat is active, but might lose it here to either the Patton field gun there or the Panzerjägers. Rockets flying through the air. Machine gun crew there almost being taken up. Panzerjägers are wiped. Field gun crew taking damage, but they do survive for now. Very strong barrage here from FK9DD. Crashing Use-M246 defensive center again, though once more he does lack the forces to pull through with. In fact, he's lost the counter at some point. 45 kills in that Panzer IV. 45! That Panzer IV is clearly aiming for a Knight's Cross. Another shot away there for FK9DD, very good. Counter to try and make a run for the Panzer in turn using against the Panzer IV here. 48 kills. It's very rare you get to see a Wehrmacht Panzer IV do so well, though I think in this case this larger contact squad in the way they then sort of maneuver about on due to the 7th man is making it perhaps a bit easier for the Panzer IV to get the kills beam, and that's just damn impressive. Sherman number 3, halfway down the FK9DD. We got 73 versus 362. North side is still very open there. I mean, a good mechanized assault group rush could maybe sort of deal with it. He's down to just 2 assault grenadiers, the Panzer IV, and soon the Tiger tanks. So it's a bit short then troops compared with FK9DD, who does have a larger force, but he is wielding it, I think, in a slightly awkward manner at times, which makes it easier for Use-M246 to use his more limited forces to defend against it. 50 kills in that Panzer IV. 50 kills. Tiger tank out. Counter being suppressed. 51 kills. Almost ace level. Assault guns with a Pantric there. Sherman under fire hit. Grenadiers against the counter deal with the supporting troops. Very good there. 50 cal almost added. Need to get that Sherman out before it gets knocked out, and even then it might not be enough here. Sherman there opening up with the Panzer IV. Tiger tank on the move here. A pocket Tiger with 52 kills. So close to the ace level. Good God. And there we go. Ace level gained. Tiger tank moving forward to taking fire there from Soviet armor. Extra rounds they've been neutralized. There go damage engine as well. Very good. Tiger tank there taking several hits here from the 8 round firing Shermans. Shots bouncing this time around. Bit luck there. Panzer IV could be in trouble. There you go. Panzer IV down to half health. Anti-tanks are supporting. He needs to get the Shermans out of there. Would be a shame here for FK9DD to lose the Shermans now. Very close to the ace level on their 3rd Sherman. Shot bounces off the Panzer IV's front armor. 52 and ace kill. Ace level. Katyusha there blasting away. Rockets connecting with the Tiger tank and nearby units, but not doing enough damage, I think, to stop Use-M246 from defending the center. Again, he has a much larger force, you can see that in terms of population, but the way that FK9DD is handling it, again, is not being handled very efficiently, making it easier for Use-M246 to defend against a larger force. So, lucky there for Use. Let's go to FK9DD. Sherman's being repaired. 21 kills, 74-2 on the way there for Use-M246. No additional infantry though. 73 versus 337. Looks like Use is going to. Oh, FK9 is going for another assault. But this time deploy smoke. They try and flank. They try and maneuver. He's just going to, you know, walk straight into every gun line. There we go. Some actual smoke going on this time around. Very nice. A clever trick would be to sort of lay it, so he can sort of first move to here, and then he sort of lays down another line of smoke, and then he charges through that smoke so to get to Use-M246 more softer bits. We'll see there. Artillery called in the disrupt. FK9DD though not using this to suddenly try and overwhelm. They're using the smoke and again to just negate incoming fire. Bit on oversight there possibly by FK9DD. More smoke here, this time a bit more further ahead, but again just seems like he's leading to this grab the point without doing much. So again, missing an opportunity I think to just rush and use M246. It would be risky, but I know at least it wouldn't park him right in front of the German guns, which honestly I describe as being more risky and less rewarding. There you go, something's happening here. I still feel like he should be throwing smoke a bit further here once he identified the Tiger sort of behind it, so he maybe separated from the anti-tank guns, but that's just me. Almost ace level on that Sherman. Panzer IV. Oh, that's being repaired there. I was about to say desperately waiting it, but it finally got the Pioneers down there. Katyusha opening up. Likely on the MG42 there. Minor casualties there. Trying to get the point here. We got 73 versus 13. Sherman's moving ahead here. Looks like the assault's going to happen now. Packs they're taking a minor hit. Tiger tank down to half health. Ace Sherman there charging ahead. They need to cover that Pack 40. There you go. Main gun out. The main gun out. It's going to lose that Sherman. Tiger tank blitzing away. Should have driven back. They'll smoke the pack while doing it. Oh, these continue the assault. No infantry backup, which can produce to clear up the packs, maybe, or something like that. Second Sherman down. Panzer IV blitzing in. Blocking the way. Tiger tank that does go down. There's 2 Tigers gone, but I would say at the cost of 3 Shermans, including at least a couple of ace ones. I don't think that's worth it here for FK9DD. A brutal assault there, but execution of it could have been a bit better. And a bit faster. In the end, it costing him his tank advantage, and now Let's use M246 again with the Ace Panzer IV. Versus, well, not a lot to really threaten it. Contemplating hammered, we got 53 there. 54. 56. 57, almost 60 kills on that Panzer IV. Another Sherman out there, FK9DD and the Red Army. Troops healing reinforcing. Got the Sherman attacking southwest, adding the 50 caliber machine gun. Fire there, machine gun tank away, MG42 up, the soldiers moving in as well. There we got 14 kills on those. Panther 4 neat repairs, got the Pioneers moving in. Sherman attacking head on again. Straight into the anti-tank guns. More Katyusha fire there. Sherman's almost knocked out already. Machine gun cleared out. We got 58 versus 308 here. Ace Panzer almost got to go. Looks like User's just setting up for another Tiger tank. And nabbing the head machine gun under FK9DD's nose, leaving him unable to sort of grab it back. 9 kills in that Katyusha. Panzer 4 moving up. 58. 59, almost 60. Ooh, close one there. Comes in a pretty explosives in there. Goes 60 kills in that Panzer IV. Not very often you get to see a Wehrmacht Panzer IV with that kind of kill tally. Starting at the 61 kills. Machine gun supporting here, 14 kills in that one. 62. Molotov's finding away with FK9DD, but I feel that one's pretty late as well. 64 kills in that Panzer IV, plus we were stacking in the Trits briefly. Another Tiger tank out for Use-M246, that's the 3rd Tiger tank. I guess in that sense, one of the reasons the Panzer IV has been able to survive for so long is because FK9DD keeps overfocusing the Tiger, allowing the Panzer IV to do a lot more because, again, he just keeps focusing all of his attention on the Tiger tank. So the Tiger tank is effectively acting like a bullet or a sponge there, soaking up fire there meant for the Panzer IV instead. Soldiers being routed by the Sherman, 2 kills. And there you go, FK9DD finally surrenders, realising that she is lost, he retreats and falls back, hoping not to get sent to the Gulag. A brutal fight here on Kholodny Ferma between 2 solid players there, and then though suffered a bit from overlooking truth center, particularly FK9DD in this regard failed then to exploit his larger numbers and advantage that way, with sort of, I would say, increasingly less effective head-on assaults, which only very too late. I think he was smoking him and then could have used it better to sort of negate incoming fire. Overall, well played by both. Some nice play there from both sides. But then again, Use-M246 I think ended up playing a bit better. And again, I mean, often to get to see a Panzer IV with 64 kills from the Wehrmacht. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're only one for audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.